Hey everybody, welcome back. We are going to be taking a look at the part 2 of Dune, official trailer 3, and we'll kind of just take a look at the visual effects and kind of just nitpick them as usual. And again, if any artists out there, prefaces and apologies ahead of time. Obviously, your work is way better than what I can do, but I figured it'd be kind of cool just to kind of go over and critique it. It's an interesting movie overall in general because Dune has been plagued with delays through its entire lifespan. It started with the pandemic, and that delayed it, and then the writers actor strike. Then there was a delay there, and what's interesting is it's still what it is. It's two parts. It's part 1 and part 2. They didn't go part 3, although I'm hearing that they're going to be making a Dune, Children of Dune movie and so forth with probably multiple parts. So obviously the franchise fever is kicking in. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a la The Hobbit, or at least Denis Villeneuve kind of like cuts himself short and just hands it over to some other person to finish. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's kind of cool that they're going to bring in the other books, but at the same time, unlike what Peter Jackson did where he took the Hobbit and turned it into 3 parts, this was smart. He just took this, made it what probably is a perfect amount, just 2 parts. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing, and I'll stop yapping here.
It's okay. I'm here. I'm here. It's been a while since you've had one of those nightmares. Tell me, what was it about?
It's only fragments. Nothing's clear. We've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades.
Look!
My family's been fighting them for centuries.
Your blood comes from dukes and great houses. Here, we're equal. What we do for the benefit of all.
Well, I'd very much like to be equal to you.
Maybe I'll show you the way.
Deal with this prophet. Send assassins.
Fade Rother. He's psychotic.
I see possible futures all at once. And in so many futures, our enemies prevail. But I do see a way. There is a narrow way through. Is to you. Do you believe me?
This is a form of power that our world has not yet seen. The ultimate power.
I want you to know I will love you as long as I breathe.
You will never lose me as long as you stay who you are.
Consider what you're about to do, Paul Atreides.
Silence!
Prophecy is how they enslave us!
Oops, looks like I got a delay here. Come on, slow internet. I'm actually downloading something.
You are not prepared.
All right, well, can't see the whole trailer here. That's great. Oh, well. Well, shall we start from the beginning, I guess? Let's take a look here. All right, so we're going to go frame per frame here through the kind of like VFX shots. And again, here we have like a really awesome, whatever this sphere is here, I never read the book, so I'm trying to remember back to the Kyle MacLachlan version of this movie. I don't remember what exactly that is. I'm assuming it's the thing that blows up eventually, because there's that huge volcano-sized explosion at the end. I was also commenting that the explosions in here, just on the ships, not the big explosions, look kind of liquidy, and I think that's a style thing. It's not just a, crappy Houdini render. It's actually a stylistic explosion. You could see that in part 1 where they have the kind of sneak attack when the barges, whatever they are, just explode. You can see here this is a real looking explosion, so it's not like they chose every single explosion to look, or were limited by whatever and chose that kind of liquidy explosion. It seems like it's only when the copters get hit or something. So I found that was kind of interesting. Anyway, so yeah, some basic anamorphic footage. It's always interesting how some of these frames are very simple framing, very simple setups, almost like you're watching a stage play. It's not a lot of detail. This is rather interesting. I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of cool how they would do that. Kind of just show you something, you're kind of guessing what in the world is that without giving away. Although I do think they gave away a lot in this trailer. They can come on now, 3 trailers in. It's like, everybody, did you forget about Dune? I know we were delayed again. This has a Star Wars feel to it, I guess. Pretty cool though. I mean, everything feels real. There's nothing in here. This was a kind of cool shot. I always thought it was really neat. It's like kind of looking right into the sun. And you just get like, again, here's that liquidy explosion stuff going on. And again, totally intentional from the artists. I don't think it was a limitation in Houdini or something, but you have that kind of lava feel, and it might be just the futuristic, fuel source. This reminds me of like the CG tutorial of the chopper coming down. It's like CG circuit. I think his name is Nippert. I forgot his name, tearing it apart, but there's like a Houdini tutorial where you take a helicopter and it smashes down the ground. It kind of just reminds me of that. Anyway, it's kind of neat how even you got the perfect amount of lens flare here. The shadows work just beautifully, and then you get this little bit of like just a little touch of heat distortion right there. You can see like right there. So it's real subtle type thing. I don't know what story is with this fire. Kind of a weird, almost feels like it's not real or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going here. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Now these kind of shots, these are like what I call the Star Wars shots, great scale, but the God rays, I don't know what it is. It still feels like you could break it up a little bit. You could break these like little plumes of light up a little bit more. I mean, obviously they're broken up and you can see a little bit of difference here. You got like a little height there, but just some kind of little extra something of mist coming through the air to kind of break it up. I know we're far away, so I'm sure everybody's kind of attacking me for that one. What? So I'm not a fan of Zendaya. I don't know what it is. Like I'm not a fan. I hate to say it, of Timothée Chalamet. I think he's a little bit of a. I don't know. He just kind of soft spoken. Last part 1 was he was very passive as a character. Now again, everyone tells me, no, that was how he's supposed to be. That's how it is in the book. He's passive at the beginning and then he's active at the end. I'm like, okay. This feels a little CG-ish. Obviously, it's when you go through these crazy scales, zooming through things. But I think it's just this area right here feels a little weird. Like there is detail, obviously. There's dirt and grime, but I think it's just too uniform of highlights. I don't know what it is. It just has uniform diffusion in it, or maybe specularity as well. Anyway. And there he is, the Emperor. I think I told stories about my friend of mine who started a movie with him. She gave me some really interesting stories about him. Anyway, so here we have the guy, I don't know, forgot his name, but he played Elvis or whatever. So very interesting character. I'm always kind of guessing, like when I see people, I go, I saw this guy. I thought this was. I was thinking of the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Francis kind of like the jealous neighbor that wants Pee-wee's bike. It just kind of looked like him. I was like, is that Francis? I looked it up on IMDb. It's not him, so must be another actor. So anyway, this black and white stuff, I don't know. It feels like color film with black and white. It doesn't feel like true black and white footage. I think it's the contrast or something. It's like it's been desaturated color. And it just, there's like a element to it that doesn't feel right. Maybe it's one of those cameras that's, you know, just black and white, like the IMAX black and white cam that they're always touting. I don't know. Let's keep going here. Almost through. So again, more of these awesome sort of shots. And what I love about Dune is the fact that they have these nice static shots where things are far away. There's lots of action and you're kind of looking from afar. Those are more inspiring, I think, than having like these, you know, super shaky cam shots. So again, this pretty impressive shot, obviously. It's coming through. Now I'm trying to think, like, and I don't know the book, like obviously there's a certain depth that these sand, that's a great shot. These sandworms, you could see when they hit something, when they get a certain depth. It's like right there, right? There's like an impact. So they only have like, I don't know, maybe 70 or 80 feet of actual, you know, sand to kind of push through. I don't know if they're pushing through a wall that's the barrier of the city. The city has more shallow sand to avoid the sandworms. This shot feels, I don't know, the fact that everybody's, it feels a heavily duplicated shot. Just the motions of everybody just feels strange. And then here's that ball. This might be, I'm guessing this is like, I don't know. It's either the guild. I'm guessing it's probably the guild coming in. That could be a possibility. Or the Emperor. I don't know. Could be his ship. Anyway. So, again, pretty simple stuff. And then we got, of course, this crazy shot. Lots of, I think they went a little too crazy with the, looks like the nuke, looks like the nuke, what is that, like haze, you know, or whatever that is, heat distortion node. It just seems like it's too wavy, slightly unnatural than the way things are really like, but I don't know. This is, again, a perfect example of, like, absolute perfect light wrap going on here as this sort of, like, goes in front of the sun here. Just the fall off and everything is, like, perfection. Again, explosions looking very real. Star Wars walker here. Now you wonder, and I wouldn't doubt it, that they actually built this. I wouldn't be surprised if, at the very least, they built this portion back here so they can kind of climb up it. And then this foreground is just an element that's been destroyed CG-wise. You know, it almost feels like you can tell, maybe, I could be wrong, this here is maybe a, you know, on-set explosion, who knows, you know, and then this here is the CG explosion. Still looks cool. And, all right, so we got something falling in the water. I don't know what it is. This is the shot, I call this like the Lord of the Rings Mount Doom explosion shot here. I mean, it just feels like that moment in Return of the King where the camera does sort of like a Dutch roll, you know. You can see it kind of rolling, you know, the shot. You got all these things coming at here. So something big exploded. I'm guessing it's that gigantic ball that came in. Whatever it is, whether it's the Emperor ship or the Guild's ship. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep going here. Again, I think they're showing a little too much. I just get that vibe of Return of the King here with the elephants coming in, you know. You start to get into that. And again, it's just what it is. It's a battle. It's in the book. What are you going to do, you know? And I still like the fact that they kind of hold back. They kind of have these shots far away, kind of looking in. And then, of course, they have the action scenes coming in. So, yeah, mean, really, really awesome how these things are, just how the setup. It's gonna be a great movie. I think it's gonna be really cool. It's, after seeing Godzilla, which is, if you guys haven't seen Godzilla, check it out. And also leave a comment below on Godzilla, because I'm curious how much of the budget was CG of that 15 million full budget. Obviously, we're not talking about the marketing budget, which is probably at the very least like 40 or 50 million, but in general, a $15 million budget with that level of amazing CG just kind of has me go like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, are we really, I hate to say it, like, I'm not dissing anybody from Japan or the studio that the director kind of works with, but how is the race to the bottom at this point in time? if that level of CG or 2 hour, 10-minute movie or however long Godzilla was can be applied. Again, I don't know. I mean, like, it's the scale and so forth. I mean, you could pay someone a nice hefty, price tag, a DNEG, right, to do this effects, and then you got somebody in that's, hungry to do work in Japan, And I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not saying you deserve to make less or blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying I really think it's kind of something that kind of just brings things to attention in regards to the quote-unquote race to the bottom on things and how things are starting to fluctuate, especially after this sort of retraction of the industry that's probably on its way post-strike. I'm going to see what next year brings us. So that said, I think that's it. There's not much at the end except a shot where he's sort of walking away. Again, I really like Denis Villeneuve that he just chose 2 parts. That's it. We're done. We got everything we can. We didn't overindulge. I just hope that he doesn't overindulge with the 10,000 other sequels, because there's always that producer voice in the background going, I think you should make 20 more of these things, So I think Hollywood needs to seriously be humbled. The trash that they've been putting out, and us VFX artists having to have to work on it, It's like, come on, wouldn't it be great to work on a project that is like something you enjoy, something you're excited about coming out? I mean, we don't work with a lot of those type of projects universally as VFX artists. It's just time that we, get excited again. I really hope that Hollywood gets its affairs in order, that it's no longer, it's more spending time entertaining us than preaching at us. So anyway, that's it. FYI, we'll have the Edge tutorial hopefully done soon. I have just been super busy with school, finishing up school. So later.